Hi there. In today's video, I'm going to go over what's new in Anytype Desktop version 0.55, which was released on April 29th of 2026. First up, we have object discussions. We now have something similar to comments, which is on the actual object. You can have its own text discussion. So as you can see here, at the very bottom, there is now a little button here that says comments. If you click on that, the comments show up at the very bottom of your page. So when you click that, it will jump to the bottom and it goes to the very last message. So here's the start of my discussion. And you can see that it is nested. So if you do replies, they all stay in this one block. And then you can have multiple things inside your discussion. You can add images, as you can see here. You can have reactions with emojis. And you can even have code blocks if you want. So a lot of the styling that is in the main page editor, you can also do in the discussions. Now, it's not as convenient as it is in something like Google Docs, where you can reference something inline in the page and kind of highlight it and comment there. But this is a start toward more collaborative efforts, specifically on an object or page, instead of having a whole separate chat discussion. So the next thing that has changed is we used to have what's called a space, and then we also have a chat. And now it's just called channel. So if I go over to the far left and you go to create a new space, they have changed it. So now it's a little more simplified. It says create a channel. So you're not choosing between a space and a chat anymore. The first thing that pops up is actually select members. So you do have to click down here to continue without members. And then you get to this part where you will select the name of the space. So let's just put new space here. And then you can create it. And then the next screen that you get to is this one where you'll choose what you want to see first. Do I want the chat interface more, or do I want a page, kind of like a dashboard style? Or do I just want a collection? So collection is actually like a list of your objects. So you can pick that. If you don't want to pick it, like just say you select that and there's really nothing here, then you can always change that in your channel settings. So here is where you can select your home page. So for instance, if I select chats and I go back, now you'll see this, which is a collection of the different chats that I have in here. We now have something called favorites. So let me come over here. So you can see right here, I've got a lot of stuff in my sidebar, and these were all previously pinned in a previous version of Anytype. So if you go up here to the top right corner, you can have the choice to pin to a channel. So let's say, let me go to notes. And then let me go up here. So again, to the top right, and then you select unpin. So it removed that from here. So now what we have is, instead of a pin, we have a favorite, which is back to the star. So if I select the star and I didn't have it previously, it now appears under my favorites. And this section is only for the user. So if I share this space with other people, they're not going to see this my favorites. It's just for the individual. They will see everything else up here, though, that is pinned to the channel. So again, the little star is personal. And then if you want everyone to see it in the space, if it's a shared space, you want to use pin to channel to save it up here. In previous versions, we had to upload files to a page or object, but now we have the option to upload the files just by themselves. So if you go here to your create new object and select the down arrow, we can see over here, we have this option that says upload from computer. So you can select that, and now you get this option to either click to upload or drag the file. So if you click to upload, it will just go into your Finder or My Explorer. on Windows, and you can select whatever you want to upload. So if I, select one of these files here, this has now uploaded by itself. And if I go over here, you'll see there's like the 3 dots. Let's open that as an object. Okay, and now if I select this we can see that it is an image type, but it's not connected to anything. It's just living on its own as an image. So if you want to find this later, you can scroll down here. Let me scroll down a little bit. And if you go to images, you'll see that now the file has just uploaded here by itself, even though it's not connected to any other objects. Another update is the bookmark layout. So let me show you what these look like over here. So this is what it looks like on the page. Let's say I go here and I want to create a new bookmark. It's going to come up with this box. And if I just put that in there, you can create it and it will look like this now. So it has a different layout than it previously had. The next update is Anytype agents skill, and this is a new lightweight, it says isolated JavaScript runtime for executing code against your Anytype data. So there was a demo of this in the most recent town hall from April 29th. That town hall was over Zoom, so you can find that recording on the Anytype YouTube channel, and I'll link it down below as well if you want to see what this looks like. I personally haven't tried it yet, so don't worry if you don't want AI at all in your space. This is not something that you can toggle on and off inside your space yet. This involves a little more technical know-how, and you have to download this Anytype agent skill from GitHub. I'm going to try to test this out myself sometime in the near future and hopefully make a video about it if anyone else is really interested in doing this, but you're like, I have no idea where to start with any kind of local AI on my computer. There are a ton of quality of life updates, so I'm just going to go over a few that I personally found really useful. There's now an option to pin messages to the top of your chat channel, and that's pretty easy. If you go over to your message and you select here, you have the option to pin it right here. So it will show up at the top right here, and then if you want to unpin it, you just select unpin. And if you click on it, it will just take you to wherever that message originally was. So it'll either scroll up or down in your chat. Another quality of life update was the typing Unicode. So I'm going to go over to, let me see, I think it's in your Vault settings preferences. Yeah. So under content and views, we now have this. It says replace type sequences with Unicode symbols. So if you turn this toggled on, let me go back. So for example, if you type the equal sign and the greater than symbol, it automatically turns into a arrow, or if you do 2 hyphens in a row, it will automatically turn into an M dash. If you don't have that enabled, then it would not automatically change these over. Another update for anyone that uses the code snippet blocks is we now have the option to select and use the tab to create indents. So I just press tab right there, and then you can also move it back. If you select shift and tab, it will go back the other way. Another really useful quality of life update was for tables. So previously you could only select one cell at a time, but now you can select multiple cells, and you're probably going to do what I did, try to just click and drag over all these, but that didn't really work. So you have to select the cell and press shift or command at the same time to select multiple cells at one time, and then you can copy them all. But just know when you try to paste them, like, let me see if I can paste them down here, it won't paste them like in another table format. It just pastes them each into its own block. Another quality of life update is to the bin. So let me go here. And it now has a few more columns in here. So it's got the deleted date, and it's also got whoever created that object. And you have the option to have it in this compact view or the expanded view. And then something else with the bin is they have changed kind of the permissions to protect the data in a channel. So if you are an editor role, you can only permanently delete objects that you created. However, if you're the owner or the administrator of the space, you're able to delete whatever you want out of that space. There's also a new keyboard shortcut. So if you are typing in line and you type colon and you start putting any letters, this emoji list will pop up, so you can put it in right there. So again, it only comes up if you're typing colon. If you do a space, it won't pop up, but if you just do colon directly followed by a letter, then it will pop up with the emoji list. Again, there's a ton of other updates, also a lot of bugs that were fixed. So definitely check out the full release notes that I will link down below.